Okay, so I'm excited about Shepherd's Conference 2023, and the theme for this year is going to be shepherding the remnant. Shepherding the remnant. And as you can see from the intro, MacArthur is once again encouraging pastors to remain faithful to the task as the culture is once again enticing, luring, deceiving Christians, and even causing many to abandon and shipwreck the faith. So the seminars are pretty exciting. One really I think that needs to be taught more is the Pastoral Prayer by H.B. Charles. This one is a good one. It's probably one of the more neglected aspects of our Sunday liturgy, and we do focus on the preaching, which is absolutely essential, and yet one of the neglected aspects of our Sunday mornings is the pastoral prayer, praying over the flock, praying for the glory of Christ, praying for the city, praying for the nation, praying for leaders, praying for the sick. All of those elements should be part of our common corporate worship led by the pastoral prayer. Other ones that caught my attention is Faithful Until Death by Steve Lawson. Again, Lawson, a well-rounded historian, church historian, because he is a preacher. He has an understanding of how the boldness of some of these preachers were. And in this topic, he's talking about the boldness of the martyrs under Bloody Mary. So he's talking about the English reformers at that time, the English Hooper. I'm assuming that's who he's going to be talking about, who marched onto his to go to the stake as if he was marching to his wedding day. So that should be exciting. Austin Duncan, again, on youth ministry, along with some of his co-laborers. Carl Hargrove, personal holiness. Buznitz is going to be offering one, War on Worldviews. That should be a good one. Reminds me of some of the discernment books that came out of MacArthur's ministry. Fool's Gold, I think, was one of them. Biblical, Thinking Biblically, I think, is another one. That might be a compilation of that. Mike Riccardi is offering one. I think that's on a much needed topic, which is the unity amongst those talking on the subject of the Trinity. So unity on triunity. And this has to do with the ERAS views on the eternal subordination of the Son versus the some have called the Thomistic view, the classical view of divine simplicity and eternal generation of the Son. The relations of the Son and the Father, and how those operations are sustained in the three persons of the Godhead, and yet maintaining the oneness, the one essence of God. That should be exciting. I'm planning to go on to that seminar. And then for Thursday, let's see what they have on Thursday. Let's see, Austin Duncan. That's an easy one. That's a plug for TMS. If you want to go to TMS, you're going to learn how to preach. Brad Clausen. Okay, Battle of the Mind. That's probably, I do have a book on the battle for the mind. I don't think Brad Clausen wrote it, but it's basically quoting a lot of the Puritans and how they spent much time in devotion to meditation, devoting their time to meditation, how to do biblical meditation. That might be that topic. Montoya, classic, Alex Montoya. The Passionate Preacher, I think, is one of the books he wrote. And he's going to be talking about the pastoral preacher. So preaching as a shepherd, that should be a good one. One of the ones that interests me is Bob Coughlin's talk on what really matters, or what really matters in our gatherings. How does corporate worship, how are they to be led in song? So I'm suspecting that's what that topic is about. Again, these are just titles. There's no details on any of them. Harry Walls on, evangelism, being salt of the earth. Counseling from Bill Shannon. Phil Johnson on a classic problem of legalism and antinomianism. Mike Zakevich, looks like he's going to be talking about the atonement, or Jesus' love for his own, the remnant theology in the Gospel of John. I think John 10 is probably going to be a specific text there, along with maybe John 6. Spanish Seminar by David, and Russian Seminar by Alexei. And then on the last day, D.B. Harrison, man, him and Virgil Walker on Just Thinking podcast. I'm so happy for Daryl. The Lord has really blessed his ministry. He's going to do one on wokeness, the spiritual deception of wokeness. If you haven't subscribed to their podcast, you should. They are probably the best long-form podcasters out there in evangelical Christianity. Jay Lennington, the role of the associate pastor. This one might be a easy one to guess. Abner Cho on Pastor Phil, just promoting probably the Masters University since he's the new prez. Christian nationalism, another hot topic by Jesse Johnson. He writes for the Cripplegate. If you're not familiar with him, Brian Beidebach, I hope that's how you pronounce his name, or Beidebach. Not ready on dating. So this one on dating and marriage in a society driven by sensuality. That should be a fascinating one. This one also caught my eye, which is avoiding the pitfalls posed by social media. Tom Patton on the digital world, and how do social media have an effect on the family, on the pastor, in the purity of people, Christians. And here's one that I might attend, is the one by George Crawford, When the Remnant Goes Off the Grid. And by the time you're thinking, oh, they're going to buy some acreage and, start farming. No, this is talking about the underground church. How do you shepherd the underground church, or shepherding while in an underground church? Think of the remote parts of the world where the gospel is not freely available to people. They have to be brought in and snuck in, and a lot of persecution in those countries. So that's fascinating, because we do support a missionary now that is in the underground church, and he has already begun a lot of security protocols in terms of our communication with him. So as wonderful as these seminars and topics are on the conference, really the one that I look forward to the most is really the fellowship, the reunion with friends who have now gone into different parts of the world for ministry, different parts of California, some outside of California. We get to reunite with them, and also the opportunity to visit with some of our missionaries. Our missionaries, a good number of them come from the Master's Seminary, and so this for them is a reunion with their comrades in arms from the seminary, but at the same time it's a reunion for us, those who support those missionaries. So it's a wonderful time of just reuniting with them. So I look forward to it and hope to see some of you there, and it'll be a blessing, I'm sure. All for now, and until next time, we will sign off now and talk to you soon. Okay.